Hey guys, I hope you're doing fantastically. So if you expect to see like a good drawing video, you can just click out because I had such a difficult time doing this. So on the left side, you can see that I actually already drawn four faces, and I decided to do it with color markers this time. And the first two faces on the left side are really good. Like sometimes I can't really rely that much on like my talent or my skill. It's like luck sometimes, and oh damn, I don't know why. But the first two are really good, and the bottom two are just a mess, and I didn't know what I was doing. And there was this really cute girl with her tongue out, and I felt like I didn't give her justice at all. Um, so on this week of 100 head challenge, that yeah, you can check out last video if you want to. Just going to be talking about like the process because yeah, I've never drawn with colored markers before, and on the right side here, I'm drawing a girl that was just, oh, she was like the most beautiful like little girl. I did like a little bit of a focus on like different ethnicities and cultures in this week, and she had a really cute nose, but for some reason I made it really sharp, and then I added this purple stuff for her hair, and it's just I tried to fix it, and you can see that a lot in this video. Like, it starts out good, and somehow I ruin it, or I continue until I think I can fix it, when really I should just stop at some point. And I said in the last episode that I really liked the way my drawing style fit people, because I felt like I didn't draw them as beautiful or ugly. They were just drawings, kind of. And this week, I kind of don't really feel the same way. I feel like I didn't give this girl justice in the way that she looked. You know, she was like so beautiful and so wonderful, and I just butchered her face, which was really unfortunate. And yeah, I kind of tried to continue the drawing further down, and I just sort of gave up, and I guess that's okay. But yeah, you can see I'm not liking it. So I'm starting like a new drawing on this side, and I try to relax a little bit more in my wrist and just kind of go with it. Not worry so much about like each and every line kind of thing, just drawing. I wanted to make something I think you'd see later too, like with hats and stuff. And this starts out really good, and you'll see later I totally ruin it with Tombow brush pens. And even then, when I do Tombow brush pens, I should have left the face with being pencil marks, and then her hijab as being with colors. Yeah, and it was just like a bad idea to start doing the brush pens on her face as well, kind of like at the top with hair. I wanted to create contrast, but I did it in a way where it became too much contrast, and I don't know what was going on. But generally, I actually really like this face, and well, not the face. I don't really have any opinions about the face, but the way I drew it, I actually really liked it, and I had really fun drawing it. I need to practice like drawing people with different skin colors, because I just sketch, and when you sketch like I did last week with a ballpoint pen, or you can't really see the actual colors. So here I chose to sketch her with a color similar to her skin, and it also made it easier but also more difficult because I haven't sketched that way before. So here you can see that I'm adding the Tombow brush pens, and I think the way it looks now, it looks really good, but I should have ended like right here before I start with the other color, and then I do a darker color on the scarf part, and then I take it even further. And I just hate when that happens, when you have to know when like an artwork is done, and it's honestly one of the hardest part with drawing faces. I think I don't have the same issue with animals at all, because I don't know, I just think it's much easier drawing other things than people. People just frustrate me so much. Yeah, here you can see I draw the eyebrows, and it's just a downward hill from here. It doesn't look bad at the end. I kind of like this drawing, but there's something about it that I kind of messed up. So I kind of decided to do the 100 Heads challenge, where I changed up what I was focusing on each week. This week I'm focusing on colored pencils, which I don't work a lot with, as well as headwear and different ethnicities and cultures, and I guess that's a lot to focus on, but I wanted to really mix up the styles that I'm doing. I even wanted to do heads that are kind of, what's it called? Abstract drawings. I think that would be really cool, and I've also done it for last week. I should have posted this a long time ago. I think it was maybe 3 weeks already that I drew this. So this next drawing is of a woman with a skin disease. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's just like a disease that makes your skin lose pigment. And what I did with this one that was my biggest mistake is that I put a very orange color for her, the skin part that had lost pigment, when really in real life it was just very, very white. And that completely messed it up, because I actually don't hate this drawing. I don't love it, but I don't hate it like I do with the first girl that I drew. It was something I did to challenge myself to see if I can still draw shadows and different highlights in the face when there's two different colors on the skin in different places. And I thought it was really interesting, and it was really fun to play with, but the color was definitely way too orange than it was in real life, and I don't know, I didn't really like that. And honestly, when I work with the color pencils, I liked it much, much more when the colors that I were drawing with weren't the actual colors of the skin, like this one and the previous one. But the 4 first ones that I did kind of like just like orange and green and purple and stuff. And I think that turned out much better because it's much more about the strength that you use in the pencil, and which I don't consider at all when I do ballpoint that much. It's all about like the way you shade. So if you the layers and the directions and stuff. But here it's a lot more with how hard you press, how many times you do it over one spot. And yeah, it's actually really fun. I really liked it. I really liked playing with it. And so here I'm starting actually trying to do it with pencil sketches, and I don't use pencil at all, basically never. And this first one, these 3 all have hats, and that was kind of like the theme, or headwear I should say. And this one has kind of like a, I think it's a Chinese hat, like a fisher hat. I don't exactly know what they're called, but so far in the drawing I actually don't hate this. I think it's quite okay, but you see I cut off the part where I completely ruined it right here, where I put black lines on it and I put something over it, and I really hated what I was putting out and drawing, and I felt like I couldn't end it at the bad note, so I just kept drawing even though I didn't really like what I was producing, because I felt like I needed to push myself until I actually liked what I produced. And this girl I'm drawing here is actually such a cute little girl and so pretty, but I don't think the drawing's bad. It just doesn't look like her at all, which I think was really, really unfortunate. I think one of my biggest mistakes when I draw is that I make the eyes too big, and I think I don't really have a concept of my drawing style. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to draw it so it looks like the person, or if it's like a little cartoonish, or it's like in between. I don't really know. Maybe I don't need to know, but here I slowed it down a little because I think it's interesting to see kind of how I draw. I try not to sketch too much. I try to decide on lines, and I started already with I think this is a black Tombow brush. No, Tombow fine liner. And I really like this last drawing actually, so I'm glad I ended it on a good note. And I just think it's much more fun sketching with things that are permanent instead of pencils and stuff. I don't know why, but it actually makes me better, even when I just do individual sketches and not in the long run. I really, really like this last drawing. I will add all the pictures that I use on my Pinterest, and you can just find the link in the description below if you want to see who I used for reference for all these people, if that would interest you. And next week I'm going to be focusing on a completely different style, and hopefully it's going to be better. I filmed a little bit differently with a different lighting. I think I'm going to play a little bit with editing and see how that turns out. And yeah, I'm just like, honestly, YouTube is just a place for me to have fun and experiment. And like, it doesn't always turn out great, but I really enjoy doing it. And I don't always like love the outcome, but I don't know, if I think it's important to share like the bad times too. So yeah, sometimes I get envious of people who just seem to have like just produce like perfections stuff. What am I saying? Everything was just so perfect all the time. So yeah, I just ended with doing some reflections as always. I did some things to make the pages look better, compensate for my lack of drawing skills. Uh, yeah, and I did this black marker at the end, and I'm not sure if I love it or hate it. It's kind of different, and I kind of love it, but I kind of hate it too. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something from my mistakes. And I'm sorry if this wasn't like a great drawing video, but I promise next week it's going to be more fun. I definitely learned a lot from this process, and I'm having really fun so far. Really enjoying it. Tell me if you're doing the 100 Heads Challenge, and just message me on Instagram or link your Instagram so I can see. That would be really fun. Have a great day, guys. Bye!